All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and today's a special one. Today, we are back for another simple signal stream, and 88,923 right now is just crazy. I just want to say that off the bat. We are moving crazy in Bitcoin. Obviously, not to be not expected or anything. We're not, hopefully not surprised at this movement. Obviously, if you've been someone who's watching the streams before, you will know what my targets are. I will be going over them again today. Obviously, I always mention this in the start of streams, or lately anyway, if it's going to be one of the streams where I'm looking forward or I'm looking backwards. Obviously today, I think we've got a lot of history to go through. Obviously, I didn't stream yesterday. I wanted to continue letting Bitcoin do its thing, because again, I still don't think, we're in the midst of it now. So I wanted to let it do as much time as possible, give it as much time as possible to do its thing, reach where it's going to reach. And obviously, we're just exceeding every single range possible, which is just amazing. But obviously, we're here now, and it's pretty crazy. So 889 or 8898, 890 now. Let me refresh it to make sure we're accurate. 29% up, basically 29% up on the 7 day, which is just mental. 35% up. Ethereum 7 day, which is crazy. Solana also 30%. Majority of the 7 days are gonna be up. And again, we have pumped pretty nicely over that period of time. Again, we are doing our things. Solana 2.27 down 24 hour, 2.8 on Bitcoin though. So I got a bit of a flip there, but not to be surprised or anything, because again, we have gone through two different equilibriums and two different ranges, just completely exceeded them all. Obviously, not saying we haven't seen resistance there, and when we do go to the chart, you will see how nicely we've respected each and every part. But considering how positive we are, I'm not surprised we're not sitting super long at these equilibriums. I'm not surprised we're not sitting super low when we're at resistance. Not surprised we're not sitting there for a bunch of time trying to break above it or anything like that. I'm not surprised in the slightest at any of this, because obviously our momentum is just so high to bring us upwards and pumping us up towards 90k, 95, whatever people think. Some people think 104. Again, I have a wide range of different prices. Obviously, the main one I believe I had 85 to 90k. Obviously, we will get onto that chart after we do the main chart on the 4 hour as well. So again, we'll get onto all of this. I'm yapping. Hopefully everyone is doing great. Hopefully, I think a lot of you have been doing great. Again, if you're someone who's shorting this, and there are some people out there who are shorting Bitcoin. I'm not saying shorting right now. I'm talking about before when we just started to pump. Okay, there are some people out there. I'm not gonna call names or anything, but it might be someone who's closely related to the channel, or as of late anyway, who's someone's who's been featured. He's shorted and lost his money, which was but he did it on meme coins. Actually, no, I retract my statement. Shorting while the market was pumping. Obviously, people out there, again, shout out to you guys. For you guys who are shorting when the market's pumping, because shout out to you, because you're here in the stream to see what's going on by a non-claimed professional. Because none of this is financial advice, by the way. I'm not a trained expert in finance, not a trained expert in charts. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to you guys for being here. Shout out to everyone anyways in the chat. I'm going to read through the messages in just a minute, before I after I whittle on about everything I'm saying right now, which is, consider liking the stream, subscribing, following as well. And while you're down there, in the descriptions, very, very useful links are down there. Mainly the Telegram and the Twitter are the most important ones. They are normally where we are in the community. Obviously, Twitter is very active, and the Telegram is very active as well. So do make sure you go join those. I hope after the stream, okay? Obviously, you want to experience and take in the stream, okay? But, you know what I'm saying? Just do your thing first. Watch this and then do it, okay? I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to read through some percentages now. I'm going to read the chat. Actually, no, I'll read the chat first. Read percentages and go on to the charts. I don't want dilly-dally, okay? I don't want to yibba yabba. I don't want to waste anybody's time, okay? Because we're here. We want to see what the charts are doing. Let me scroll up all the way up to the start. See what people are saying. Kishan, obviously. No surprise there. I got Kishan. I noticed Mike. He sets the streams up. I'm noticing he says good evening at like 4 hours before the stream starts to get in before Kishan. So don't worry, Kishan. Just because, your preferred message. I know he's cheating. Okay, he's a fraud. I know you're the first one to message Kishan. The absolute go, as you already know, the absolute go. Okay. And again, if you guys are here, you're the goats. Are able to check out Drift Protocol? Potentially, we've got a lot to cover. And again, I have to draw on ranges and they take a while. So potentially I will. Obviously, the normal process is, if someone gets access on the Telegram, I can do it before the start the stream, or, a couple minutes before, and I can actually set it up and then talk about it on the stream instead of having to draw on the stream and then show it. 'Cause I know I had some complaints actually by some people saying, oh, I didn't understand what's going on. And again, I'm not expecting you guys to know what's going on when I'm drawing my charts or I'm drawing my ranges and whatnot. It's preferable if you do go to Telegram. So I will try and see what I can do about Drift Protocol. If not, what you can do is you can join the Telegram. I'm not trying to shield you out your Telegram, okay? You can join the Telegram. I can send something there if I don't get a chance to do it on the stream. Darn. But we'll see. Again, we've just started the stream, so we will see. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to read the chat now, am I? Green and Crypto West family. Shout out to you, Kishan. You already know this. I don't know why I'm saying it. Type it, Danny. Shout out to you. And you know what's nice? Again, I said this a couple times before. It's nice seeing people who might be regulars to certain streams come along into the stream just to be here. If it's to be here, also actually see what's going on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. So hell to you as well. KV, the go as well. We're gonna get that message sent to you. Trust me. We had a lot of we had the Halloween stuff coming up. We had the week after the Halloween thing. We also had the latest thing we did. What day was it actually? It wasn't too long ago. I mean, it might have been like, I think, what's that? I can't remember what day it was. I think it was actually 6th because that was when we did it. So obviously I've had some streams, come up. We had to plan for. So, and I get on the messages. Don't worry. Okay. We need to do a stream. We're gonna do it greatly. Okay. We're gonna get this duo stream. It's gonna be the best stream on the entirety of crypto. Okay. You're short Bitcoin. I'll see. Okay. Because I've withdrawn myself from the charts. Okay. I'm not saying I haven't done charts the entire time. But I've left it to do its thing because obviously this is kind of a long-term play. This was a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? We expected this for a long time. If you remember, you can go back a couple months. I can't remember when it was. I was looking at that really wide range charts where it had the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I might go back to that. I haven't gone back to that in a while. That chart. I don't really look at it. I normally just look at this the lines on the 4 hour and stuff. But we've had this range. We've had this kind of price pump in this time period. We've had this for a long time coming. We've been expecting this. So, and again, like I said, this is a long-term thing. This is something we've planned for. So it was one of those things where I'm kind of withdrawing myself from it and letting it do its thing. Because again, it's just a waiting game all the way up to, again, there are some fuzzy parts where, you can, wait for a little pump down or movement down. You wait for a little pump upwards, this, that, the other. But the majority of the time we've done right now has just been going in a straight line. But, as we are basically here, because remember, what was my main prices? Obviously, I've had many different prices. We have 104k, I believe, in one of the areas. We do have 150k in one of the... We have so many different lines to look at. One of them is 104. I do think 104 is an important line. But we do have equilibrium on the higher ranges between 90 and I think it was 86k, something like that. So basically roughly where we are now. So I'm not going to be surprised if we do see a small little bounce from 90k rough area downwards a bit, okay? But as long as we keep in the range... I believe the red area is 90 to 86, so the outer range might be even lower than that 80, whatever it's going to be, okay? So if we do see a movement, I'm not going to try and say we're going to move down guaranteed, but just from me remembering what we've talked about on the streams and saying it right now before we go onto the charts, from all that I remember, I do remember that I have a pretty crucial area between 90k and about 86k. So even though I haven't looked at the charts and I haven't truly gone into it on the stream, I can kind of expect that we potentially might have a bit of a movement downwards. Because in comparison, you know what? I'm going to save this for the charts because I'm talking about something which you guys should look at, okay? At 60k, Oracle prediction is 95k or 90k both reached. Have we wicked to 90k? I actually don't know what we wicked to. I haven't seen it. I know we're at 89 now. We're at 89 now. We've probably reached it. Yeah, look at that. 90... We were $40 away from 90k, and we're going to go onto the chart, and you guys are going to go, oh, wow, isn't that so nice? That's what you guys are going to do, okay? You're going to do that in your minds. You're going to go, oh, wow, isn't that such a nice chart? Because it is, okay? Remember what we've done. Kishan, really much again. At 60k, Oracle predictions to 85 to 90k, both reached. Appreciate it, Kishan. Thank you for reminding the stream. I do appreciate it. Yeah, as I was mentioning, and as you just mentioned as well, back a couple months, whenever it was, exactly, I can't remember which roughly days, I'll even go to the chart. You know what? I brought it up. I don't care. I'll just refresh the page. I think it was it this page? Oh, here we go. Okay, this looks like it. Yeah, this is a long period though. Yeah, so the main so this was the main meet. So this is what we were looking at ages ago. Okay, we had 85k. I think, like I said, 85, 86k to 90k was the main range. You can see we're bouncing roughly off 90k now. We're on the upper range of that equilibrium. Again, obviously, I had this short. We've had this play. And again, as I've just mentioned, long-term play. I was talking about this range 6th of September. I was talking about this ages ago, okay? I was looking at these ranges, okay? I was looking at the main rejection block. I was looking at coming into the rejection block, finding support. And again, we're on the daily in this case, okay? We had to bear in mind what the AMD phase was. You can see we had accumulation, we had manipulation phase where we kind of wicked. Obviously, the initial phase coming into manipulation was downwards. So then coming into distribution and upwards should have been a pump. And lo and behold, we have done this pump. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to go over history because, again, you can, you know, I don't want to, you know, yap on about stuff we've already covered. But, you know, at the time, as the time was happening, I saw this kind of, like, this chart pan. We were talking about this rejection block. We were talking about coming into it. We were talking about this long. I think I drew this. I believe I drew this before we dumped. Okay, because I can't exactly remember. But I'm pretty sure I drew this before we dumped. Obviously, going from there, we had our periods. Obviously, we came to 66. We had our dumps. We've had our pumps. But again, as long as you stayed going, we then have finally, obviously, now reached our targets, which is beautiful. I've seen 114k suggested today. We'll see. We will see, I guess. Yeah, I did want to bring this up because, again, I did want to mention, you know, this isn't something just out of nowhere, okay? This isn't something... My camera's gone off face recognition. On. I need to put my hand up like this. There we go. And that little camera will follow me. There we go. Because I want to keep my face centered on the screen. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not showing this to go, you know, the charts and this point. I'm not, you know, if you're coming to the stream, you're going, oh, he's just saying it because everyone else is saying it. Oh, he's just, you know, we already know this is going to happen. I just want to show this because this is stuff we were looking at back in September. I couldn't remember what the date was, but we were looking at these pumps towards these prices, September time, August time, okay? So it was a decent while ago. We were looking at it. We know what's going on. I'm yapping. Let's go back to the main chart where we have all the ranges and you'll see how many... Okay, I'm on the daily. It looks very small. But I want to show on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, whatever the exact one's going to be, I want to show each and every bounce we've had, each and every break we've had up to the point we are at right now. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Even on this, you can see, and I mentioned this when we were doing it, I was like, okay, I was talking about, because I remember, I believe I was talking during the start of November, we had the come down, and I was saying, yeah, during this period on the 4 hour, 1 hour, we might look like we're going crazy, we might look like we're pumping, or I mean dumping, sorry. We're coming down, it's horrible, the markets are over, pack your bags, we're leaving, type of thing. But I was mentioning, you know, back in, you know, it's basically start November, it might have been maybe the 4th of November. Okay, I was saying, it might look like we're in the bad turmoil right now, but we have bounced off. Number one, we have this breaker block. This breaker block was key. This is a beautiful breaker block, okay? We formed it, we came support, bang, that was it, gone. I'm not attributing our pump to that breaker block, I'm just saying, okay? But I was saying at the time, I was like, okay, well, on the lower time frames, it might look a bit complicated, it might look very crazy. If you look on the daily, this is just a cool-off, and I was comparing these previous periods where obviously we had our pump, we had a bit of a come down to whatever it's going to be, and then we pumped, you know, had a bit of a come down, pump again, come down. This was just one of the come downs. Obviously, on the larger scheme of things, this is a great pump, and I'm not saying, you know, turn it down. But again, let's have a look at the different equilibriums. Okay, some have been treated better than others, but let's just see. Okay, we've already looked at this. I hate the yellow so much. We've already looked at this. I looked at this on the stream, maybe the Halloween stream or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I don't think it was yesterday, Wednesday, and I think we streamed 2 Wednesdays in a week. So I believe it was. Actually, when did I swear I looked at this? I remember looking at this on the stream. I think I looked at it on stream. I don't remember when. I don't remember when we looked at this. But it had to have been, you know, the stream time. Have I looked at this? I don't think I've looked at this with you guys on stream. But I remember looking at it. Anyway, whatever. This, I mean, this is just perfect as well. You can see this resistance off equilibrium finally found a break up above the red area. But again, remember, equilibrium on the majority of ranges, and again, with some of these ranges I use, you know, you have to test on some regard, you know, because sometimes, you know, some things just don't work better than others. But again, on these ranges, we've already had our tests on Bitcoin. We already know these are good ranges. And we already know on these ranges, due to previous price action, that not only is this red area equilibrium, but the wider range equilibrium can also be considered as this massive area. And again, nothing's ever perfect in crypto. Nothing ever is truly accepted fully. You know, that's why you have risk management. Okay, if something was 100% win ratio, you know, money wouldn't mean anything anymore, would it? You know, if someone was 100% risk ratio, someone would have to be 0% risk ratio. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But for the majority of the time, the outer rim of the equilibrium is also encapsulated within that main area of support resistance. And again, I've talked about this on previous streams. You know, being within this blue area, it's like being contained in a metal tin. All right, you've got a little metal ball, or you've got atoms in a metal tin. You heat the metal tin up, things are just bouncing all over the place. That's basically what it is. You know, you basically get put in this pressure chamber of the price. And again, it could either bounce right out, or it has these periods, which I'm showing right now, which is why I'm saying this is a good period, where we bounce off the tin, we surpass the midpoint, we bounce a couple times within the tin, we bounce up, we try to get back out, we come back in, bounce within the tin, bounce, support, off you go. You know what I'm saying? So this is a nice area. This we used both both ends of the equilibrium as support and as resistance. So pretty good there. Enjoy that. Very, very nice. This, beautiful. Remember, this is purple line. What do we have? Bounce off purple line, bounce off low end, bounce off purple line, found support at a higher. Obviously we bounced off we did a higher low, and then we found resistance at equilibrium, found a high again, and we are above the purple line. Okay, we're above the purple line. We found support at the purple line, okay, or above the purple line. Because again, I've talked about this previously when we have been at purple line. I've said these are massive support resistance areas, but if you can break above them and find support at them or above them, that's a good sign. That means you're in the next range. So we already know we found this support. You know, we know that we have this range to play with. You know, this whole area, or I mean, actually, to be fair, this whole area to play with. And again, coming into equilibrium, this one's a bit of a faster one because we were moving pretty rapid, but obviously you can still see bounce off equilibrium, came into it, found support, off we go. And again, this is the height of Bitcoin right now. We are proper moving. And now to look at, you know, I'm trying to go pretty fast through the already, you know, printed price action. You know, I want to go pretty quickly. I don't want to spend too much time. We've got a lot to talk about. Not only do we have where we could see right now, in terms of, I think, the lower end, I think we can come down a bit more, but I do want to really crucially look at the higher ranges, because I want to see what the ranges work. I can't exactly remember perfectly, but we can now look at where we are now with this new equilibrium. And again, we're doing that, you know, bounce off it, you know, found a bit of into it, trying to find support, tried to break above, failed it, resistance again. Now we're kind of hovering. This is obviously, we're a bit rough right now, and I'm not surprised. We are a bit, if you can see, we're kind of coming out of it a bit. We're having a bit of a difficult time. And again, remember, this is also technically a breaker block, actually, because we are also in breaker block. Oh, no. Yeah, we're in breaker block area, as you can see. So this is going to be a breaker block. Very nice. And again, remember, what is a breaker block? It is a order block flipped. This is negative. We're going to flip this to support. But wait. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, because I don't think that's going to be the case just yet. Okay. We also have this. And again, I do have more preface as well, because we're in a period of Bitcoin where things are going to be pretty crazy. Okay. Now, again, I'm pretty sure probably, you know, if you watch other people doing TA, if you watch people who do charts and stream whatever, they've probably said the same thing, which is, you know, Bitcoin's moving crazy. You know, you do have to kind of take a pinch of salt, because sometimes the market as a whole can just take over. You know, I'm not saying, because again, we've looked at these ranges, we've already looked at the equilibriums, we've already seen nice respect of these equilibriums. And again, I don't have TA for every single move we've had. I don't have, you know, there's an order block here, there's this, that, the other there. But you do have to bear in mind, you know, we are in a period where the charts are fulfilling a higher time frame outcome, if you know what I mean. So as we looked at on the other chart, we were in the AMD phase, we're in the distribution phase now. We already had this pump expected since September or you know, late August time. You know, so this is something, you know, we've expected on the larger time frames. So it might not look as detailed on the lower time frames, and it might just look like we're just surpassing each every line. I'm not surprised by that, because if we start to look on the higher ranges, which we are going to do, it's just going to look like we've had some wicks upwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about perspective, majoritively, in trading and looking at charts. It's all about perspective. So anyway, yeah, this is perfect as well. And again, remember what I always talk about, purple line. This is purple line. It's 2 lines up. This is purple line. Look what we did. Broke up. We've ventured severely off this orange line. We're really off right now. This is worrying. You know, we've immediately come to equilibrium. This isn't very good. You know, we haven't come to the purple line. We haven't had proper structure, because again, we have had these sorts of scenarios. If we go back to on the 4 hour, let's say, and come all the way down here, we've had the. You know what? I've got so many ranges now. It's really messy. We've had, again, look. Remember what we just had? We had the purple line. We came above it, and then we came down. We've had these periods, you know, we've had these periods where we've come above purple line, done whatever we've done, and then come right back down, because we haven't followed through with support. But again, not saying, you know, never say never. I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily mean we can't do that again. And again, in this case, you know, we didn't have the proper structure where we came up, came down, and came up again. But we do have that, you know, actually, to be fair, I'm on the 30 minute, so potentially, you know, We haven't had a print there, but on the 1 hour, you can roughly see we had a good, bounce up, print at it. We're coming up now, but you can see we're starting to do lower highs. We're starting to slow down a bit, okay? So unless we can get that momentum, because again, if we look from where we've pumped from till now, we've been higher lows, higher highs the entire time. The entire time, higher lows, higher highs. I'm not probably drawing these perfectly. You can see, and then we've done a lower low now, and now we're starting to do a lower high. So it looks like momentum's starting to slow down a bit, okay? You could also attribute this to maybe a double top. You can see, I'm not saying we're gonna come down to 82k. Actually, wait. I don't want to get ahead of myself, okay? Let's wait for it. But you can see, if you don't want to attribute this to, okay, wait. I just want to draw these. I just want to delete these, man. I got too ahead of myself. I'll read the chat in a minute. I don't know if anyone said anything. I'm not really looking. I'm kind of getting a bit involved in this chart right now. Let me delete all these. Okay, perfect. So, it could also be this kind of double top scenario. You can see, coming maybe down back towards this equilibrium. I'm not trying to say that's going to happen yet because I still want to look at, the higher range equilibrium. Okay, because that's going to make this so much clearer. Because again, these ranges I'm looking at, you can see the lines are very thin. The gaps are very thin because this isn't that big of a range. You're supposed to look at these ranges like this. You're supposed to look at them like this. But we're trying to use them on the global sphere of Bitcoin. We're trying to look at it on the higher range. So I do want to go to the higher ranges because I do want to show you guys because I haven't looked at it personally myself because I've mainly just been looking at this range and this movement. I haven't actually looked at the proper higher range, which obviously I have shown on stream before, but I'm quite excited because I want to see how accurate we've got to it and if we are accurate at all. I think we are accurate. We've bounced twice now. But it could be a double top, and that could necessarily mean, okay, down towards, you can see apart from this bounce within equilibrium, we've had a straight line all the way up towards 90k, basically straight to 90k. So that's going to be a straight line back down towards 82k. So that's in theory, okay? We do have breaker blocks, we do have different supports, as we see if we go back to the 30 minute. And again, these are on the 30 minutes. These aren't going to be very strong. You know what? I'm going to delete that. Scratch that, deleting them. Well, I forgot I was on the 30 minute. You want to look at the 4 hour, the 1 hour. We don't really have that on the 4 hour, 1 hour, so I'm not going to pay too much attention. We do have rejection block, though, in this range. It does look like a pretty decent rejection. You can see tiniest body in the world, but really big wick coming into orange area perfectly. You can see this bounce. I want to see how perfect this bounce is. It's like, what is it? It's like $5 off, so a decent bounce off that line in this range. So this is probably going to be a good rejection block. I think I did red for rejection blocks, but I'll just do, like, I don't know, purple. No, purple's for better gaps. I'll do pink. There you go. Oh, no, it's just like red. Oh, there you go. I don't like it. I need to stop. I do yellow. There you go. So, rejection block. That's going to be good support. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect support. I think we're going to break down below it. And again, you will it will all make sense when I look at the higher range. I'm just trying to get every single thing I need to say out of this range. I'm trying to get out all we've done and where I could see us going just based off this range alone. But everything's going to change. Maybe. Okay, I'm building up to it. I know it feels like a pantomime, but it will become a lot clearer when we go to the higher range. Okay, trust me. Now, you might not believe me. If you've just seen this chart for some time, you have no idea what's going on. You're like, what the hell are these lines? These are awful. Don't worry. Okay. What we'll do though, I will read the chat because I've seen a lot of messages. So Pakistan, wink in hospital for skilled knee surgery. Well, hope it all goes well. Okay. We've had a lot of luck. Not luck. We've had a lot of positivity, and obviously there's also yin and yang in the world. I'm not trying to curse you. Obviously, Bitcoin's been pumping. Market's been going well. So I do wish you the best with your knee. Obviously, you said it's scheduled. Hopefully, it's a small thing. Most of my tokens do well. Crow and Ada surprised me. Hopefully, Quant does well. Yeah, I mean, again, I think for the most part, the majority of everything is going to be pumping. Okay, there's going to be some outliers. I mean, there's going to be some trash which is going to pump. And, it's like, oh, why didn't my Trump MAGA Make America Great Again super coin pump? Why do you think it didn't pump? You moron. You've just tried to long super Bill Clinton, like, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm just making stuff up. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay? If you're trading trash coins and you're surprised by the trash coins going against what the market's doing, don't trade trash coins. Trade the normal coins. Okay? You can trade altcoins. Okay, that's a nice little severe. If you're trading, okay, if you want quick trades, you either do small cap coins, which can go up and down fast. You do futures, or you trade these sorts of moments when you trade the big coins, which are doing crazy stuff. But for those big trades on the big coins, to actually get anywhere significant in terms of percentages, if you just want to do percentage, because again, the trade we had, it was 59% profit, and again, I did talk about this back in August. But again, it takes us from August, September, October to now in November. What day is it exactly? It's 12th of November. We're nearing towards the middle of November. Okay, so these trades can take a long time if they happen at all. So, if you're like, oh, why didn't we? I want to win big. Why isn't Trump MAGA turtle coin going up? You're trading turtle MAGA Trump coin, man. You're not trading anything important. But if you do take these big trades, or not big trades, if you do take these important trades, which happen on the bigger coins, on the bigger time frames, you still can earn money without having to do futures or anything. But I'm yapping. But yeah, like I said, the majority of things are going to be going up. I'm not too, I think it's more so of a what will surprise or not surprise me is, or disappoint me is the outcomes. Because we kind of expect the majority of things to be going up. Again, some things will go up faster than others. Some things will go up first than others. But it's more so of a thing where how much are they going to go up? Is it going to go up more than I expected, what I expected, or less than I expected? So, but again, with Bitcoin, I think personally, we've spent enough time as a collective. I'm kind of doing the royal we here, because I am doing obviously I do draw the charts and I do talk sometimes. I feel like we all do it together because we're all on the stream together. We all give our opinions. Some of us give our opinions. We kind of all come together, on the stream. So, it might not be a thing where it's like, oh, we did these together, but I do feel like we've spent enough time with Bitcoin to kind of know what's going on. But anyway, let me see what's going on. that's what you guys can talk about that. You look at FET again, similar to what I mentioned to Darren earlier. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on Bitcoin. I reckon I'm gonna reach 10 o'clock and not have enough time, and I do have to draw charts on them. So what I will say to you, Dean, is if you can come to Telegram, I can add something later after the stream to FET. If not, mention them in the chat. Can you say, oh, can you cover FET in the next stream? Because kind of the plan is, I do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and what happens is people on Telegram, if you send me coins or whatever, you say, oh, can you look at this? Then I can draw it for the stream. But I've had, some people say, oh, I don't want to look at you drawing the charts, which is fine. I completely understand that. It can get confusing. It can be boring. If you're just looking at the, if you're watching the stream and doing something else, yeah, I can draw stuff. But if you're solely just watching the stream, then obviously I appreciate you guys. But it might get boring if I'm spending a lot of time drawing charts. So what I will say to you, go to Telegram, ask me in there. I'll either send it to you on Telegram or I'll cover it in the next stream. So yeah. But again, even if I did want to cover it, it's already 9:30. I've got 30 minutes left. I have to look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana, and I'm still not relatively near finished with Bitcoin. So I don't think the outcome. FET and Drift, yes, I'll remember them. So yeah, rejection block. Let's go back to it. So what were we saying? Rejection block. On the 1 hour, again, it's not on the high time frame. It's not on a big range. I don't think this is going to hold a support. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce off it once, but it's not really. I can't ignore it, but I think we'll see. Even on the floor, you can see this kind of formed it bounce. If we go to the 1, I'd probably see even better. You can see let's go to 30 minutes actually. See, formed it. Did our thing, came up, bounced, came towards the line. You can see a nice bounce then, came up. So we've already kind of bounced off it once. Yeah, I mean, we might see support there, but I think we will fall below it. But you can see what we're doing right now. It's not really, referring back to what I said earlier in terms of, oh, well, we're sitting in this range. We're coming out. We're bouncing off random areas. We're bouncing off random areas, coming down. We're not really sitting in appropriate places. Well, let's finally go on to the higher range. Okay, I can't remember which range I normally used, but I think it was this one. So here we go. There it is. Here we go. Weekly. Even on you can see on the weekly, it just looks like we're going up. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. So here we are. I think, is it this range? We've got many lines, okay? We do have many lines. You can see. Referring back to what I said, where on the lower ranges, equilibriums are wider on the higher ranges. So look, 59954, 86 to 90. On the blue lines, it's 93.8 to 83.259. If you go to the higher range, you can see what's the equilibrium? 83.259 to 93.887. Okay, and obviously you've got resistance at 72. You've got different resistances. You know, you can go to the 593. And again, remember, this was for me the most important one. This was crucial for me on the highest range you have. Okay, it was. I have to go to the monthly for this. This was crucial. Fair value gap in fair value gap area. We came in to touch it the 1st of August, and now we're pumping again. And look, I drew this purple line. I drew this line ages ago, up towards 90k. Now I'm not saying we're going to bounce off 90k, 9,345, and then come down all the way back down to 72. But if we go based on what I said ages ago, which was we come to 90k, we retrace a bit, and then we exceed it, and then come back up, and then the next price is 154. And I'm not saying we reach 154, you know, tomorrow. This will take some time, and I mentioned this on the stream. I'll say this might occur towards the end of next year. What's at the end of next year? What's in November next year? In theory, based on our local expectations, the end of the bull run. So by the time we have our bounce and then come up again, I mean, to be fair, this'll because again we pump and then you kind of come back a bit in April or whatever it is time in that kind of Easter area, and then you pump again the rest of the year. So if we're in bull run, which ends at November the 1st, so if we're pumping and then April area we come down a bit, and then during it, you know, at the start of next year, kind of November time, we could see that point. And again, you know, it's not out of ordinary. It's not you know, out of the realm of possibility, because you know within this month alone, we've come up 26%. So it's going to be something which is steady. And again, you can't tell the exact future, but these lines, it's kind of a thing where it's like we've come from here from the very start. Again, I know there's previous data on Bitcoin. I'm on OKX. You can see the bounce we've had. Obviously, we had a double bounce actually from here. So we bounced off here. We came to the midpoint of this line, and then we came up again. We had a big dump. But again, this was a period of where we finished the pump. You know, you can see we're October, November time, and then we started to dump again. So we're out of the run where we came all the way down. This was our dump. You know, we've had the bull, and then we're coming down to the bear. This is the bear period. Look at how accurate the bear period is. How off from the print, we were about $600 away, which is pretty damn accurate, especially on the monthly. So referring back to what we've looked at, and this is all I can look at to here now. It's going to be a bounce off of 90,314. Come back to the midpoint, which if we theorize the midpoint being roughly at, you know, 75, 73k. Okay, which just so happens to be the two times we've bounced off here, 73, 7883. So I reckon, let me draw a line personally, actually, so I can actually see this properly. There you go. I reckon that could be a decent big low, okay? I'm not saying we come to that tomorrow. I'm saying that is a point of interest, personally, as a point of interest, okay? But what I do want to do, actually, is... so that's the wide range. We had the fair value gap. We're coming up, okay? So this is the general kind of action we've seen across Bitcoin so far on this chart alone. There's different periods on the charts on that, but if we go back in, yeah. So this is the lower range, 59049. We've got two parts, okay. You can see purple line 65699. We broke down again. Okay, you can see where are we in for this order block or this. Actually, let me find a different range. Where is this formed? I've talked about this already. I've already talked about this. See, this is how great I am. This is how brilliant I am at charts. Okay, I've already talked about this. Red area. What is this? Okay, I should probably make it change to green for the theme. Okay, what is this? Where are we? If you maybe picked up a 1-2 thing about my methods and whatnot and these ranges, what period is this order block formed in? Well, this is where mitigation blocks form, which I don't really look at too much. The main ones I look at is breaker blocks, rejection blocks, order blocks, and fair value gaps. This is liquidity void, doesn't matter. This one I don't really look at, and then we've got equilibrium. But even within it doesn't matter there. This is going to be equilibrium, so it doesn't matter. You know, I mainly look at these ranges, okay? I don't really look at liquidity void. It doesn't really matter, okay? This is where big pumps and dumps are going to happen. This is where the majority of big movements are going to happen, in theory. Don't really look at it, don't care. But to go back to my point, where are we? What is this range based on what I've just said? Oops. This is breaker block area. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What is breaker block? Who the hell are you talking about? I don't know who that is. breaker block is a flipped order block. A failed order block is an opposite of what you have. So if you form an order block in these ranges, you in theory are supposed to flip them then, and then use them as the opposite kind of use, I suppose. So let's kind of take that and put that to where we are right now. Okay, order block formed here, negative order block formed here, which means it's going to be a positive breaker block. And we are also below equilibrium, so in theory, I don't really pay attention to this too much. In theory, based on what we have here, if you're below equilibrium, things which are going to bring you up are supposed to play out better than things which are going to bring you down. But that doesn't really matter. I don't really pay attention to that. It doesn't really matter. But that just adds up to the importance of this range. Okay, so order block, bounce off midpoint, bounce off arbitrary area from these two highs, came up, we've surpassed it. Okay. And again, it could take a couple candles. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying we're going to come to 65, but we have it. Okay, you can see we did our thing, found resistance. You know, did our thing. We've surpassed it now. We came up and then we've come down with this candle. You can see we've printed roughly near the midpoint here. So we've kind of had the bounce from the breaker block, which then means we have formed it appropriately as a support area, which is then going to help us in the future. So, yeah, I just want to point that out as well. But anyway, so where we are now, okay? 93k to 83k is the wider range for the equilibrium. We're currently in the midst of it, okay? A lot of numbers are pointing towards 90k, especially on this wider range, on the 5-3, whatever the hell. The main line is 90k 345. But again, we can print at 90,345 on the monthly or whatever it is. But we could wick up above it towards 93k. So I don't want to limit us towards just 90,345. If we go to this range, you can see. Back to this point. Okay, well, these two lines. This was equilibrium. What equilibrium was it? It was this equilibrium, wasn't it? Oh, no. I drew equilibrium. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was one of these areas. It was equilibrium. But importantly, what do we have on this range? Equilibrium, two blue lines. So in theory, on the wider range, on the monthly, on the potential weekly, this is where the equilibrium is going to be. So I'm not saying, and again, this is where, okay, on the monthly, we're supposed to print above these lines, but you can wick outside them. And again, if you take what you have on the monthly and use it on the 4 hour, it's going to be really rough. You know, it's going to be something which isn't going to be followed through with pinpoint, because again, it's just too wide of a range. But in theory, on the monthly, we're supposed to be printing, you know, if we are going to hold this and continue onwards, which I expect we're going to do as with Bitcoin continues to go upwards, we're going to have to print above 72,630. And remember what I just said, with this line at 73,555. That is the equilibrium in between the two ranges which we are in currently right now. So we've got so much kind of confluence, so much building up onto the fact that we have resistance at this area at 90k, 90,345, and then you could come down. You know, I'm not saying, because again, you can see this normal price action, this is our high, we had a low here, we've surpassed this high at 73,555. So we're good, you know, as long as we're doing a higher low, which is towards 48,975, we're still in this period of time for Bitcoin, you know, so we're still going to be in an uptrend. We can still continue onwards for Bitcoin. So my main takeaway, which I do need to move on to Ethereum Solana, is from this, which is what I was hyping up as I was looking on the lower time frame. We are in equilibrium now, a higher range equilibrium. You know, we're in rough equilibrium. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have our come up and we do start to come down. There's two options I see. 83,259. And I do think there's been mention from, I think in our Telegram, I believe from Mike, I think he mentioned there's a lot of buy orders or orders basically at 83,259. Okay. So what could that mean? Or I think it's 82. You know what? Let me read it actually. Let me read it. I want to make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. 82.5. Okay. So what does that mean? 82.5. That's about $750 away from 83.2. So what could I expect to happen? This is based on what we have on the monthly, or what we basically have on the weekly, or weekly monthly time. What could I expect? I could expect a weekly print above 83,294. We could wick down to 82.5. We can print at 83,259. We're then going to be in the midst of equilibrium. And then this is kind of turning point. Either we're going to be holding this and then continuing upwards and then going to 90,345 and onwards. But I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. I think where we are now, 90k, whatever, I think this is our higher high. I think what we're going to do then is a higher low. remembering what we've talked about on this range, which is similar to down here, where we've come up to 90,345, we come down to maybe the midpoint of the range, which also coincides with these two highs here. So I reckon we're going to have a low at about 73,555, worst case. Okay? This is going to take a long time to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. But I think in the current sphere of Bitcoin right now, I think we'll gradually come back down towards 83,259, 82.5. Okay, we could come back upwards towards 86.90 again, but I think on the monthly, on the wider range, I think we are going to see a retracement back towards 73,555. Okay, but again, we have Santa Rally. Okay, we have a lot of things to bear in mind. Okay, so we could have a couple candles above this area. Okay, but look what we had here. We had come up, we had candle here, we had a whole month of hovering at the resistance, and then we had candle down. So we had basically roughly a month and a bit. Obviously, we have a month and a half. So this could be into January period. And I do believe there's sell-off in January. I think there's sell-off in January, isn't there? Because we have Santa and then sell-off in January. So what we could see is during December time, we could have monthly print within this range. Let's go back to here. We could have monthly print within this range, doing our thing. We could have December time wicking up. So I think within December, we could wick up to... Which range is it? I think in December time, we could wick up to 104k area. I think in January, what's going to happen is we have that monthly dip, which is going to bring us back towards 73k, which will then have us follow through with this move downwards and then allow us to then come upwards. And then continuing during the year, coming upwards, maybe having the period between January and the May, I think there's May or April sell-off. That period of time coming back up towards 90k, 104k, sell off a bit, which will be our bounce off of 90k. So I think we could come back up to 104k during that period of time. April time, wherever it's going to be, when we have a bit of a sell-off again, it'll be 90k. And then during the year, as we kind of close up towards the end of the bull run, it will be us bringing up towards 154k. That's my prediction for... That's my my predictions, I suppose, with this period. Okay, again, this is rough. This is stuff which spans next year. Okay, I'm not saying it's gonna happen tomorrow. So takeaway before I go on to Ethereum and Solana. My takeaways: 90,340 bounce, retracement towards 85k, 85 to 70. Wick, potential wick towards oh no, is it 83? Oh, what was it again? Oh, what was it again? Okay, here it is. Yeah, okay, so wick, so 90,345 bounce, roughly, basically where we are now, bounce. Retracement towards 83,259. Potential wick towards 82.5 for buy orders. Retracement back upwards towards 90k again, back into equilibrium, which will be our bounce at 83k. But again, we need that print at 83,259. We need that print, otherwise we're not getting equilibrium. If we're not at equilibrium, then we're just going to come down again, So, but I think we'll have that print at 83,259. I think that's an appropriate come down. We're at 89,570 right now. So 83,259 and buy orders at 82.5. That's a good retracement. Again, we're in a period where we're going up pretty fast for Bitcoin. We're in a period where we're going up quite a lot for Bitcoin. So I don't think it's too crazy to say 83,259, 82.5 is a good period for Bitcoin as a low. That's a higher low, continuing onwards for Bitcoin. So that's my takeaways for the current period of time. As I was just talking about then, 104, 154k, that's like next year. Okay, so that's what I think. I think we are going to have a retracement. I think we're having bounce roughly. I think we have. Look, you can see we've had this bounce, came down again. We're shimmying upwards again. We could have a bit more of a shimmy towards 90,340, an extra $300. But again, even if we don't, we're literally there. We're basically at the top of. And again, it's not only is it this range. This range has 595, whatever it is. This range. Oh no, which one is it? This range. So not only is it this range, which is kind of the weekly range. Okay. The monthly range, which shows the fair value gap, which has that bounce over the span of Bitcoin's history, which we have on OKX, that also has 90,340 as an important price. So 90,340 isn't just a smaller term weekly resistance. It's also a larger resistance on the grand on the grand scheme, if you know what I mean. So if we go back to it, it's not just a line on the 5.9 for equilibrium. It's also an important line on this really high range. So yeah, that's my takeaways. We have a bounce off there, 83.295 or 250, wherever it is, towards 82.5. That bounce, a wick towards 82.5. I think we are going to retrace. Personally, not financial advice. Let me read the chat though before read some chat. I'll read the balance as well, but whatever. Loved your explanation on Bitcoin. I appreciate it, Kashan. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. KB, a trader I know and respect a lot, still believe we could see 50k before the real move up. Glitchy Spark 347 time to sell. I mean, yeah, based on what I've said, I can agree with people who are saying we're going to come down completely. Yeah, I don't agree with him, but I respect his reasons for it. Yeah, I mean, I can have a look on this range again, because I think there is a 50, whatever the hell K line. There's 58,458. So he thinks 50k. Again, I don't really see that. You know, we have this 47, 48k. We've already had this fair value gap, which we've already filled. So, you know, if we had this fair value gap and we hadn't filled it, maybe. I don't know. Based on what I have, I don't really see anything like that. You know, maybe we've got 51k here. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, on this 77147 range, if we don't hold above 72,630, which again, that encapsulates, because again, we've just talked about 83k. The 83k print on the weekly, monthly, basically in like 15 days and 2 weeks, that encapsulates this print above 72k. So if we have worst case scenario where we don't hold that 83k, which I did mention, if we don't hold that 83k and we do come down, you know, horribly, and we don't hold 72k 630, okay, which is actually, that's the line that we have, isn't it? That's the important line. There we go. If we don't hold that as well, which will be strange because we've had two resistance we've had two bounces off of it. You can see this bounce and this bounce on the 4 hour. We've had two bounces on this line, so you can see multiple. You can see how many times. Look, that was a higher range. There's 77147. How many bounces have we had? This bounce, we've had this bounce roughly here, this bounce lately. We've had multiple bounces here, okay? So this is an important line. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hold it as support. And if you flip one of these lines, again, we're on the four, well, actually, let's go to the daily. You know, bounce, bounce, bounce. This is a daily bounce multiple times. So if we can flip this and use it as support, I don't think that's going to be massive support as well. So not only do we have 83,250, we also have 72.6. But even if we don't hold, I'm trying to theorize here, even if we don't hold those prices, we have 51,372 as the next line downwards. And if we look at where we are, we can see this here in breaker block. Okay, so let's see how the validity of it. Okay, so you can see formed it, formed this. Actually, we formed another one here. Formed it, resistance, tried to break above, didn't hold support, came down, came up, found support. So we have a breaker block at 53k. So in terms of if we did break 72,630 in the worst case scenario, which I don't think we're going to do, we do have 52.5 as support. But again, I think he's focusing too hard, or she, I don't know. I think that they are focusing too hard on the minority chance rather than what we're doing right now. Because again, even there is still some aspect of psychology to it, where it's like if everyone thinks something happens, it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think there's a lot of periods of, there's a lot of things you can look at in trading, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, which, you know, it is because it is, you know. But plus my camera stopped moving, which is, I don't know if I'm out of frame or not. But I think, yeah, I think that guy's or person's focusing on the wrong areas of Bitcoin. I don't think that's something to really look at. I don't agree with that personally. I don't think it's happening, but yeah, it was fun to draw. It was fun to you know, theorize, but I don't think so. Anyway, we've actually got 10 minutes. Again, I always do this. I spend way too long on Bitcoin, but again, Bitcoin needs that treatment. You know, it's the big dog. You know, it needs that long period of time of looking at it. Okay, Ethereum. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked at these coins since we've had these problems. Okay, I haven't drawn my new ranges. It's a mess. Okay. Okay, 729. What have we got? Surpassive equilibrium, came up, broke above this, found this bounce. You can see right here at 2990. You can see this wick at 9th of November, 5 p.m. Nice wick, came up to equilibrium, bounce, found support, came up, founding support now at equilibrium. Next, so I think we're continue to come upwards. This this wasn't that bad. Okay, so this was a long period of time I had. So we had bounce down. I thought we're going to come up to this line and come down and then come upwards. So we didn't have this come down, come upwards. We are having the come up though. And again, this was when I didn't have any ranges to draw. But I mean, it's kind of like a Bart Simpson, isn't it? You know, if you look at it, it's kind of like a Bart Simpson come up. So this, I think we are definitely. I think our next target for Ethereum is going to be towards 3,550. Okay, I don't think we're slowing down. Again, this is small. This is 4 hours. This is a small period. I definitely think there's 4,000 in the regards up here. We're gonna have to break above some of these areas, but I think next area, even though Bitcoin is basically at its peak, and I think the market will follow through. Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin, they've kind of obviously they have done their own things. You know, I'm not saying they can't do that. You know, especially with I think it's. I mean, again, we all know Solana's kind of like a moody teenager. It does its kind of own thing. I think Ethereum follows decently well with Bitcoin, but again, we are in different periods. You know, with Bitcoin, we are fighting within an equilibrium, and we haven't had signs that we're going to hold it on the smaller time frame. But with Ethereum, you can see we've already had this bounce. We've come down to the midpoint, and now we're coming upwards again. So we are potentially showing signs of holding as support, and you know, coming upwards again. As you know, you can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Or this is a higher low, we could potentially do a higher high. If we don't, then obviously we're going to show signs of reversing and then continuing downwards back towards, you know, 3,100, where it's going to be down here. So I don't think we are going to venture back upwards and continue towards 3,600 area where the higher the range is. Okay. But again, considering what we're doing right now, I think we do have to pay attention to, you know, the higher time frames. You know, the majority of bounces have been within 3,640 to 3,600. This main area, you can see, you know, this bounce off of the high, this bounce on the lower end. You can see we've got on our trend. You can see we've kind of got this isn't a low. We've got multiple lows here. So actually, well, technically, this is a higher. So you can see the trend's changing now. Higher low, higher high, higher low. This is we've done a high now. So our low can be as our low has to be higher than 2,381, which is going to be. So as soon as we do our low, potentially equilibrium, we'll then do a higher high. We've already changed. I'm just trying to see, you know, this is, we're in this downtrend, doing our thing. You can see bounce, doing our thing. This is our change of character, whatever you call it, I don't know, to a more positive note. Obviously, also bearing in mind we'd have this kind of Bart Simpson, which brings us up towards 3,600 area. So I think we do have a bit more to push towards Ethereum. So I don't think it's just the end for Ethereum just yet. And again, remember, I think Ethereum, you know, actually I should go to it. You can see there is disparity, and again, there's going to be disparity because the market's doing its own, like the market's going pretty crazy. I'm not going to expect every single coin to follow directly suit with their percentages. So I'm expecting Ethereum to go a bit more hard than where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin, we are basically at the end. You know, if let's say 89.8, we're basically got $540 left above us before we see that resistance. But to be fair, the resistance is on higher ranges, so we can wick above it. But the main range is 95.40. So I do think we can continue a bit more higher relative to Bitcoin towards 3,600, which we haven't seen yet. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I'm not too worried. Again, we do have these equilibriums. I don't have the in-depth ranges I do have with Bitcoin though for Ethereum, so I can't really look at the higher ranges. But I'm not surprised. We've only got 5 minutes. I think we continue onwards. I think we probably hold support. Continue onwards 3,600. I think we have a bit more moving upwards. Let's check Solana. I'm interested in Solana. Solana's always a really interesting one to look at. Okay, we are probably gonna have to draw some more ranges. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's expand them. Okay, there we go. Expand these ranges. So on the higher range, what do we have? Multiple equilibrium bounce, rough equilibrium on the higher range. We've come above equilibrium like it was nothing. You can see, just perfect. Again, that's why I love these ranges, because I draw them. I draw a lot of them, and then I leave them. And it's just yes. Again, there might be a lot of input to draw them, but they're just beautiful. You know. Also, this was nice. Again, I'm not surprised. We had a nice little pump here. But anyway, yeah, let's delete that. We've already done that now. So you can see like just how nice it is. You know, you can see bounce pretty much directly off this top, came down basically directly to this bottom, came up, found support at this bottom, came up, found resistance at this area, which we haven't really seen before, or you know, in relatively local time. and then obviously bounce off here. So really nice, higher lows as we continue onwards. So we've done our higher low recently. We're probably gonna do a higher high if we continue the trend in theory. And again, Solana, Moody Teenager, we've already formed support at this equilibrium. We do have a lot to pad. So seems like Solana and Ethereum are very similar in their potential actions. So I'm thinking, if we continue this, and Solana, even as of late, with this movement above 161, we were looking at this, during October time. I was saying this is, Solana's doing its thing. We're coming up pretty nicely. We have this difference with Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, where Solana can continue to go upwards regardless of what the market's doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue this trend upwards. I think it's quite straightforward with Solana. Continue the trend upwards, coming towards maybe 243 to 240, where this resistance is. But again, I think, I do think we can continue upwards. Again, we are having this pump downwards. And if you look on the surface level, just at percentages, out of comparison, Bitcoin's up 3%, Ethereum's down 1.5%, Solana's down 3%. It's the lowest out of the big three, in my books anyway. But that's for good reason. I'm glad we're down the most, because it means we had this bounce off equilibrium. We've truly found support equilibrium now. It then means we're now in this range of things to do, which means if we continue the trend, which, as I see it right now, there's nothing really of problem above us for Solana, as we've seen previously. It just means we're going to be continuing this trend upwards towards 240. Again, 240 or 243 to 252, it's going to be the difficult area. So I think that's definitely going to be our high. Whether it be as comparative to Bitcoin's 90,340, with that number, it wasn't only the local range, it was the two other ranges on the higher on the monthly. Both those had 90,340 as resistance. So I don't know if Solana with 243 is the same. I don't know if it's the same in terms of it has that strength to it, but as I know it, or as I only have on my screen right now, we have that number there at 243. What I do want to do though is I do want to draw more 27 ranges upwards. I do want to see a bit more going on, so this is going to take a wee while to do. You know what I could do? I could probably skip 2. I might skip 2 is what I could do. So we could do 89. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of mathematics here, okay? Because obviously, these are ranges. You know what? I could just add it in my head. I don't want to get it wrong though, because you know what? There's a non-zero chance I do the math wrong, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip a range, just so we can see it quickly, okay? 243. There we go. So this is the new range. Obviously, we've skipped one. You know what? No, I don't want to skip one actually. I want to see. It doesn't look right at all. So what was it? It was... it's on mine. There we go. Well, I don't want to skip it anyway. I want to see. Okay, there we go. See, you just draw the ranges and they work. Let's look at that. Broke up above it. What do we do? Where's the purple line? I think it's that one. There we go. Purple line. We haven't come to test the purple line, but again, we have found support at lines above. And remember, it's kind of a blanket statement where it's like, okay, you come above 189, and then you kind of sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought then. You come above the low or the high, and then form it as a low. You can come above the expansion line. You can find support above there. It's whether you hold it. Again, it's kind of you kind of have to pay attention to what the market's doing. You kind of have to pay attention to what the coin you're looking at is doing. Got a little bit of a thingamajig going on here. That was pretty nice. Look at that. Look at that bounce right there. Anyway, yeah, anyway, so good equilibrium right here. Let's go to 1 hour so we can see more details. Really nice here. You can see, came up to it, already finding resistance there, found resistance, bang, resistance again, even a lower high right there. But obviously we then found support greatly at this area, again, excluding the expansion line. Came up, found support, found resistance at the purple line, came down to find equilibrium, found resistance. I know we kind of did this other thing there, but majoritively, obviously, we found resistance at this main area up here. Obviously, when it came above, found support. We're now slipping below again, so we didn't quite hold this purple line, even though multiple resistances or resistance bounces. It's messy though. You can see this wasn't a very good sign. You know, you can see multiple times we tried to get above. This is kind of a fake out. You know, it does kind of like a, you know, did our thing, sweep down. You know, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a sweep of this area came down. This wasn't a very good area. You can see multiple times. You know, big sell, big sell, big sell. You know, did our run up, filled it all, came down. So yeah, as we currently see right now, lovely bounce off this area right here. What is it on this range though? Yeah, of course it's equilibrium one. I'm stupid. So it just looks like we're sitting equilibrium now, which is we're holding support out, which is good, a good sign for us. You know, really good sign for us on the 4 hour. You know, or the 3 hour in this case. Really good on the 1 hour. Really good signs. This is perfect. These bounces. So showing good, you know, good positivity for Solana. I do think we can venture upwards again towards 243. You know, without it having external influence from Bitcoin or Ethereum in terms of the market movement. I do think Solana is a bit of its own dog. I do think it can have that venture off. If Bitcoin and Ethereum are going down, I do think Solana can still continue upwards. So I'm aiming towards this 240 mark. You know, before I see anything, because again, we don't really have any other, you know, history. There's nothing really back here. Actually, I could be wrong. Let's go daily. I haven't really looked at it back here. You know, I don't really think we've got anything. You know, we don't really have anything. You know, there's nothing of importance. Maybe this. Let me just see. Actually, this could be of importance. You can see we kind of found resistance there. So this could be a breaker block, or could just be an order block. I don't know. Yeah, again, it's not really anything considerable. It kind of spans the entirety of this area. It's not really. I mean, we're having our bounce there. Again, it's not really that significant on this for Solana. I don't really see anything there. Yeah, there's just nothing really here. Personally, I just don't really think there's anything there. Monthly, again, let's make sure. I mean, there's technically this actually. To be fair, there is a big rejection block here. Actually, you can see if we draw a line from this high, you can see. Oh wow! Hold on. It's a really nice. Hold on. Let's bring these back, like way back. Let's see. Look at this. This is like a perfect bounce on this line. Look, actually, let's get a ray so we can see the price. It's 11 cents off. So we do have, coming into this rejection block and then some, a really nice. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that just lovely? Let's go make it yellow. So okay, we do have something. I finally found something. Okay. So yeah, big old rejection block there. But again, rejection blocks aren't the end of the world. We can surpass them. Especially if you find that bounce. You know, if we find this rejection block bounce, we then come down towards $200 and then we could surpass it. You know, so again, I think with the majority of coins, local scope, I think we are within. I think we are within our means, you know, our expanded means. I definitely think we can see a bit more for Solana, a bit more for Ethereum. Bitcoin, technically a bit more, 340. But again, I think majority of coins, even if Bitcoin, Bitcoin, massive market kind of influencer. If that's dumping towards 83k, 82.5, everything else is going to be going down. So we could see, I do want to see a bit more moving upwards for Solana. I do think Ethereum can see that 30, I think it's 3,600. I think we can see that. I think comparatively, I think $240 we could see for Solana. But I think majoritively, what I would rather trade and hope, what I'd rather see is that movement downwards. Okay, for Solana, that could be towards, you know, this 184 area, or even lower. To be fair, I mean, this isn't very big range. This is the 4 hour. We could see vastly lower for Solana. I don't think so. That we could see, because again, comparatively, these were our highs. You know, this is equilibrium at $200. So similar, like I said with earlier with Solana doing the same thing, we could be holding in comparison to the rest of the market. But I think the safety bet is Bitcoin to 83.5 or 83.2. I think it was. Yeah, 83.2. That's my safety bet. Ethereum to 3,600. I do think so. Similar with Solana, I do think we can see a bit higher for Solana. Whether that be 240 though, could potentially be a bit too high. I don't think we have any order blocks in 232. We could see maybe some. Again, it's $2 off though. Within 238, 240, I think we could see that for Solana. If we do have that moving upwards, similar with Ethereum. If we don't, then down we go, I suppose, towards 184, 173 area. Because again, 173 area is also equilibrium on the 27. So if we don't hold this $200, we're then probably going to see this $177 area, which we've seen previously anyway. With Ethereum, if we are coming down similar with Bitcoin, we are probably going to be seeing... I only have one range on Ethereum though, so I can't really look at it in too much detail. But we could probably see, 2,900 for the low, potentially. As long as we aren't slipping below 2,820 and breaking below, then we're not going to be in that range at the bottom, and then we'll be okay in that regard. But again, I think we could probably hold this area down here. We can see, look at this, formed it, support, flip, bounce. So I think we could have bounced off 2,900. So that could be our next low for Ethereum. I don't know comparatively how low that is for Bitcoin, but again, if you look at the general move and then look down, that's potentially 43. That has to be 23. I mean, I guess it is relative, isn't it, to how much you move. So the halfway line, if you look roughly, that is about at 2,900. So if Bitcoin's 83.2, this could be 2,900 for Ethereum. And it could also be $178 for Solana. So that's kind of my rough guesses. If we are having that move downwards towards those areas for Bitcoin, then I am seeing that for Bitcoin's okay. Yeah, we're slowing down. I think we didn't we do a lower low, and we're probably doing a lower high now or something, or equal high. I'm gonna check quickly before I end the stream. I need to end the stream soon. It's not looking pretty. You can see, like, we've done a lower high. We've done a lower high. It's looking slow. It's looking a bit slow. This whole moving upwards, every single high has been higher than the last one, apart from this one. So I definitely think we are going to be slowing down. I think we are starting to slow down a bit. If we are surpassing this low, then obviously it does also look like a rough equal high as well. So it's one of those things where I think we are going to come down. In terms of where I see it, just on this, similar to like I said, 82,550. Is this equilibrium's high? So back towards what Mike said, where there's buys at 82.5, 82.6. Not surprised. You can see this is 82.6. We're $100 away from what Mike said. You can see this bounce at 82.250, but I do think 83.2 is where we're going to print. Basically at this line here, I think that's what we're going to print at. And if we do that on the weekly, monthly, whatever it is, obviously what is it? It's Tuesday today, right? Yeah, it'll take a while, but depends how we print. Again, it's always really important how we print on the weekly and monthly, but I think we are going to come. I think we're at least going to come down to 83, or I think we are going to wick at least towards 82.5. I think we are going to hopefully print at 83.2. That'll be good signs. That'll be us to be. That will allow us to continue doing what we're doing during our period of time. I think it's going to be very choppy. I think it's going to be quite choppy. Now, because we have kind of reached our maximum output for Bitcoin. Comparatively. But I could go to Solana, I could go to Ethereum and look on their higher ranges, and we could potentially see something very similar to what we see right now with this range at 90,340. So it's one of those things. I don't know. I haven't drawn them, so I guess we'll see. But as I see it right now, key takeaway from this stream: 83.2 towards 82.5 is where I think we're going. So I think that's it. I think what we've got going on. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm going to read the balance chat real quickly, even though I don't think anyone's really there speaking. Yeah, balance is awful. I'm going to close it. That's pretty much it for me, though. I think I've given a good amount of information on what I think Bitcoin's going to do and what I think the rest of the market's going to do. Outro. Descriptions. Links, check them out. While down there, like the stream, follow if you've not. If you obviously, if you just watch the entire stream, you're like, this guy's awful. I don't like him. He's annoying. Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. If you're gonna subscribe, be annoying. Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm gonna be back. Probably like Thursday, Friday time. Probably Friday, considering what we're doing. It might take a day or two for what we're doing with Bitcoin. Maybe a day and a bit, 2 days. So I'll probably be back Friday so we can see the outcome of what I've talked about. If we do it, that's not financial advice. Probably be back Friday then. We're not doing a stream tomorrow or anything, so I'll probably be back Friday. I'll be in the Telegram if anyone's talking. So, yeah. It's pretty crazy for Bitcoin. I'm happy. I think a lot of people are happy. The majority of people, I think, obviously, there's always going to be people who are shorting when you're supposed to be longing. There's always going to be people who are longing when you're supposed to be shorting. I think the majority of people are going to be happy, though. I think the majority of people have made pretty good profits, either still making profits. Obviously, I know, KB, I know you said in the short. Personally, I agree. I think we are going to be coming down. So I think it's much a matter of time before we see that 835. Because, again, we are at the crucial area for Bitcoin. We're at that, you know, resistance point of the equilibrium. So I think not only is it equilibrium, but it's also that that higher range on the monthly, wherever it was. So I definitely think we're going to be seeing this bounce at 90,340. I definitely think we're going to be coming down. So it's a matter of time. It's a matter of where, pretty much. So I guess we'll see. I'm excited. Shout out to you all. Thank you, each and everyone, for joining. Not only people who talk, but I know the people who watch the streams and, you know, don't say anything and just like kind of watch the stream. Appreciate you guys as well. Absolutely, really do. If you're new to this channel and you enjoyed it, like I said, subscribe, like stream. Have a night take there, buddy. Nice stream, mate. Catch you next one. Thank you very much. Shout out to you, KB. Actual go. Go look on your short. I don't think you need to look there. I think you're right. But yeah. Post your, but also you've got shorts. Post your results in the Telegram. It'd be nice to see. Obviously we've got the trading area. Nice to see some of you guys' trades. I know Kishan posts trades all the time. Absolute shout out to Kishan as well. Absolute go. Always making money. Even making money when he sleeps at this point. So thank you all. I'm gonna be going. I'll probably see you Friday time when the markets kind of do that. I reckon it all might take. I mean, to be fair, we could have 2 candles and we're all the way down to 83k. You know, it's a matter of time. It's one of those things. You know, my time guessing isn't very good. You know, I don't really guess times too well. But it might be about a day, I'd say. You know, a day and a bit, maybe a tiny bit less than that. So by the time it's Friday or Thursday, depending on what the markets do. If we do everything I've just said on the stream by Thursday, I could probably stream Thursday. But by the time I stream, what I said either wouldn't have happened or it's probably happened. So see you then. I'm excited. It's gonna get a bit choppy. I definitely think this has been the start of what is going to be a big movement throughout a lot of months for Bitcoin. I definitely think this is the start of it. I think it's only just getting started. If anyone's thinking sell now, we're going to 50k. If you had a license, I'd be voting to revoke it. You know, because luckily I don't have a license. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. Neither is the majority of people who do trade. Because remember that as well. No one's professional. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. So do make sure you trade based on your own back and everything as well. Also, have a favor for you guys. I want to get actually no, I can't say this. Never mind. I cannot say this. I'm on balance. I cannot say that. Never mind. Ignore I just mentioned that. Thank you guys so much. See you guys on Friday. See you guys on Telegram if you're talking. Then you know I'm in the Telegram, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow? What am I talking about? I just need to end the stream. I'm sorry. I'll see you Friday or Thursday. Goodbye. Thank you.